Month after month, God's original people depart from the motherland towards the Western world with hopes for a better life. Yet, do they find their way back or wrestle with internal strife? To exit the cradle of life means you will die a slow cultural death. But Beyoncé said her daddy used to tell her, look up at the stars. It's been a long time, but remember who you are. So we just got to find our way back. It's a big, big world, so don't stray too far. Just find your way back. Alkalabums, just find your way back. Find your way back.
Welcome to Melanated Conversations, our narrative from our perspective.
Here on the podcast, we are amplifying the voices of Black women and sharing their powerful stories of transformation.
I'm Tyrion.
And I'm Yana. Let's start the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Melanated Conversations. I'm your co-host, Tyrion.
And I'm your co-host, Yana.
Yes, welcome back, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode with us today. We are excited, as always, to jump on the mic and chat with you all day. But before we get into our chat and all the things, I want to introduce to you guys our very special guest for today, Taiwo Aloba. Welcome, Taiwo.
Taiwo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yana and Tyrion.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. Very grateful to be speaking with you guys today. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for saying yes and wanting to speak with us.
I feel like we're little fans. We've become fans of you. Here recently, very, very much so. And Taiwo will share more about her story here in a second, but Taiwo is an author, a writer, model, dance girl. I mean,
all the things.
All. She's going to be sharing with us about her most recent project that she just released. And yeah, we're just going to talk all things life. And I'm just so excited to have her. We are so excited to have her.
Yes. I'm excited to be here too.
Yeah. Yana, you want to take it away?
Yeah. Before we actually get into our chat for today, we can't start the show without giving you a warm welcome into our home and our space with a game. We like to play a game. Little. It's a fun game, and you're not alone in this game. We'll play together, but we call it "Don't Drop the Mic." And I'm just going to throw out maybe 3 or 4 scenarios or topics, and you have to tell me out of that list of items which one of those that you would let go. It's one that you would have to let go forever. That's Tyrion's rule. That's not my rule.
It's hash.
Yes. Okay. So are you cool? Do you want to play? You want to play?
Yes, I am.
That sounds like, what was that? Do you want to play? What was it?
Yes, I
want to play. Was it Chucky?
Right.
Was it Chucky?
Yeah. My buddy call or something? Weird.
Probably. Okay. So this one is, the topic is comfort. Out of this list, which one has to go forever? Your phone, all streaming platforms. I'm thinking that's more like YouTube and like
Netflix,
social media like platforms.
Yeah.
The internet or hot showers.
This is a very hard one. Oh no. Wow. I mean, I would say streaming platforms.
Really?
Yeah. At least I still have the internet and my phone. And hot shower is very important.
Yes. I'm with you now. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so not giving up the hot showers.
So, so you said all streaming platforms, you said?
Yeah, that's Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like Netflix, Amazon, Prime.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I can always pop into my neighbor's house and watch something.
Okay.
That's true.
That is very true. Ooh. I mean, you can't have a streaming platform without the internet. So you got to have the internet. I'm with you, Taiwo. I'm not giving up my hot showers. Not happening. And a lot of times I use my phone more than my TV to some degree. Yeah, I'm gonna say streaming platforms. I'm gonna regret that. But I'm gonna say
Okay. I was like, I'm gonna go against the grain, but then I was like, I don't know. I gotta have my hot showers. Cause that was when I was like leaning more toward, because I'm a bath girl anyway. And I'm like, well, I can still have a hot bath. I'm good. But yeah, I think I might go with that one, because streaming platforms, our podcast is on a streaming platform. I can't let that go for that reason,
Okay, fair enough.
I need to continue to be the amplify. I'm willing to give up my hot shower to make sure the beautiful voices of Black women still shine out there on the streaming platform.
Yeah, he's trying to get proud of I didn't
very clever.
Because you didn't say, I didn't come up with these questions. These came from Tyrion as well. I'm giving her the credit for that. But I'm thankful you didn't say just hot water, because that was like the defining difference for me. She's like, oh, a hot shower. So if it was hot water, that'd have been a little different story. Because I don't.
Oh yeah.
But then we grew up in the country days where you can fill up a little pot of water, warm it up if you need to, and go through it. Maybe I shouldn't tell that, but
it's true. I mean, that's definitely happened a lot. So
I still do that sometimes when my water doesn't get hot like I want it. I'm like, let me just add some. Like, my husband's like,
warning signs on our taps here. The water gets ridiculously hot. Yes, one day.
No, that's a good. Can we do one? Can I throw one more out? Are you good for one more?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to tell me which category you want. The category is talent, or the category is food?
Oh, food.
Okay. So this one actually has 3 options, and one has to go forever. Either there's option 1, food that tastes good, B, food that's cheap, or C, food that's actually good for you.
This is I wasn't expecting this.
It's a twist, right?
Yes.
Oh, I would say food that tastes good.
You want the good tasting food to go away?
I mean, well, the other options are cheap and food that's good for me. So I'm not letting go of cheap food or food that's good for me. So I don't know. That's it.
I feel you. My thought process was almost identical. Come on. First of all, Black folks, it better taste good. First of all, it better have some seasoning or something. It better some flavor. Number 1. So we are not letting go of that. If I can get it affordably, yes. If I can save a little something on the side, I'll have it. Thank you. As long as it tastes good. And I mean, some foods that are good for you taste good. So, so it doesn't always actually have to be good for me, but as long as it tastes good, and it can fall under the category of possibly being good for me. So it don't have to be good for me.
Okay. Well, this is just going to be one that's spread all across the board, because yeah, I have bougie taste buds. I have a bougie palate, and I can't sacrifice. Now, I know you can get some good food cheap, but in the case of this particular question, cheap gotta go, because I need my taste good food. And I still need to balance that, because I like to eat. Eating is like my love language.
Right.
If a love language was eating, that would be it. I likes to eat. And with that, I need to balance out some of the food with something that's good for me. You know, food is actually, food can be medicine. So I need the medicine that I can eat and partake in that way. So that's why I would keep that food that's good for you. And the cheap, I feel like I can let that go because, I can't claim that I have a green thumb, but I'm becoming a green thumber. So if I'm growing my food, I'm actually coming up maybe, I'm making some savings in that way. But I'm not sacrificing tasting good. That's just not a compromise.
Right.
Throw a little seasoning on it.
That's a good point because you're growing your green thumb. Like you can actually have food that is good for you and then make it taste good.
Right. See how the circle of life of food is for me? Yeah. Me and food got a relationship. It's me, myself, and food. That's all I got.
Fair enough. I like that.
Well, thank you, Taiwo. Thank you for playing with us.
Definitely. That was fun.
Good. So we actually are going to now be a little bit more serious. We're still going to be us. We might have a little tinge of craziness in there, but we really want to get to the conversation and chat and learn more about you and all the great things that you're doing and get into this book. So Tyrion, I'll let you throw out our first question.
Yes, of course. So Taiwo, how would your friends or relatives describe you? Can you just give us a little backstory on you?
Okay, that's a very interesting first question. I mean, I think they would start with mysterious because, as a creative, I spend a lot of time by myself, in solitude. I need that time to write, to come up with creative ideas. And I think most artists are actually awkward people anyways. So, I think first they say she's mysterious, but I mean, it's good, it's for a reason. And what else? Creative, definitely. Everything around me, everything I do, daily has, some things of art. I'm always creating. I'm always looking for people to collaborate with in the art industry. So yeah, if you're around me, you must also love, art. I'll take you to, before the pandemic, I'll take you to an off-Broadway show or, talk your head off about, a new movie or song or, just a new idea, a new creative idea. So, people will enjoy that, definitely like to hang around because they know they'll always hear, a new creative idea. So yeah, mysterious, creative, and reliable too. I try, I think. That's what people say. So yeah.
I could see mysterious for sure. Like you're more reserved, but that's never a bad thing. Never ever a bad thing. And you mentioned you being a creative. So you're from, I don't know if we mentioned this, but you're from Lagos, Nigeria, and you actually went to university there to get your bachelor's, right? Before you came to the States. What did you study?
Theater, arts, and music. Theater.
Okay. So then that makes sense why it's just all flows naturally for you.
Yeah.
When did you?
I really couldn't do anything else besides that. I was very bad at maths, very bad at mathematics. So yeah, theater was the only option.
Got it. And then you came here and got your master's, right? Yeah. When did you move to the States?
2016.
Okay. Oh, you got here when it got real interesting.
Right. She got here and was like, what did I do?
We're not making the best impression on you.
We didn't give you the best that we got.
No.
I know. But I've met some really great people. So I'm really grateful to be here.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about it. Talk about your experience growing up in Lagos and what was it like for you? I know you share about some of that in your book, but just in your own words, how was it like growing up there, the political climate, and also how was it like making that transition into American life?
Well, thank you. I mean, growing up in Lagos was fun. I mean, that's like the best way I can put it. It's not the most ideal place. to just sounds very bad, but to leave. But, like, if you know anything about Lagosians or Nigerians, we're one of the most resilient people, like you can show anything at us, we will, always find a way to make things work for us. And I think that's kind of like the spirit of Lagos, like there's like a famous phrase they say, like, all man for himself, or like on your own, sorry, OYO. So, you always have to look out for yourself, even at a young age. And that kind of helped me, transition, coming here to a big city. I came here by myself. So I knew I had to be, strong, and I had to use all my Lagos antics to go around, but yeah, so I'm really grateful that I grew up in Lagos and I had so many experiences that prepared me, for this life I'm living now, or, be able to transition easily to a place like New York. I don't know, I think they say it about New York, but it's like, if you can make it in Lagos, you can make it anywhere. Because it's really hard to get anything done. I mean, my bachelor's degree was supposed to be for 4 years, but it extended to like 4.5 years because there was always like a strike. The lecturers would go on strike, or something would happen in school and they'll have to shut it down. But people, just because we know that we have to, if you have an opportunity like that to actually get into the university, you always have to finish through. You have to, do whatever you have to do to, be the best you can. Because, to get to that level in Lagos, people have made a lot of sacrifices. You also have made sacrifices. So I think it just makes you really strong, growing up in Lagos. And it's a very vibrant and diverse city too. Just the same way people come to New York to make it, or to, become something more. Like, this is the land of opportunities. People actually move to Lagos from different parts of Africa, different parts of Nigeria to, because it's like the commercial hub of Africa. Yeah, so it's very diverse. I got to meet people from different parts, different ethnic groups in Lagos. So, coming here and meeting people from different, parts of the world too, it was easy to just, I wouldn't say it was a seamless transition, but, growing up in a city like Lagos made it a little bit easy moving here and being able to be creative.
Yes. So you said you moved here on your own? Like, no family?
Yeah.
Wow. How was that experience? Just, not having that closeness of, or even that safety net of just family just near you, and moving. You didn't just move like across the country or to another city.
Right.
You moved to a whole, for one, new continent and country and city, like all in one. So like, how was that?
Well, I always say, this. It's not a funny joke, but I think I watched too many movies, and I would see people, move to New York and become something. I thought, oh wow, this is how it works. Like, there's gold everywhere. Like, the streets are made of gold. You just pack your bag from a small city and move to New York, and like, the cover of Vogue. So, I guess I just, had that mentality that, all I had to do was just come here, just get here, like everyone had seen on TV. And, and everyone back home was fine with it, like, this is what you want to do. You have so much belief in yourself and your talents. This is where you believe that you can thrive as an artist, so go for it, be that person that you want to be. It's really nice to be in a city where, your art is appreciated, your talent is appreciated. You can be a writer if you want to. You can be a dancer if you want to. Like, you have no idea how great that is. Back home, you can't do that. Like, once you're done with university, if you're lucky enough to get a 9-to-5 job, that that's, a huge one. So, just to be in a city that appreciates art and, pushes you to be your best, it's great. So, it was a no-brainer coming here, even if I had to come by myself. And thank God for technology. I can always stay in touch with everyone back home.
Wow. Yeah, I have a couple of follow-up questions, and I promise I'm gonna let you. Did you have something you wanted to like respond into that?
I was just going to say that I thought it was really cool how your family was extremely supportive of you making that move. Because a lot of times, even, like Donna said, like even here in the States, sometimes it's like, oh, you want to go after your passion, your dream, and you get a lot of pushback from your family, not allowing you to like spread your wings and just venture off into the things that you have passions for. So I think it's extremely cool and so wonderful for your family to really support your vision and your dreams and your passion. That's all I was going to say.
Thank you.
Yes, that's definitely a big one. Did you end up having family that after you got settled, do you have family now that has moved since you were the pioneer in making that leap? And also, this is another kind of separate question to that, kind of still around home. What are things that you miss about home that you don't, get here?
Oh, wow. What do I miss? I would say street food, because that you can't find that here. I mean, there a couple Nigerian restaurants that make really good food, but there's nothing like street food, like just getting down from a bus and finding like golden plantain by the roadside or fried yam and peppered stew. Like there's nothing like that. So yeah, that would be it, and just the hustle and bustle of Lagos. Like it's just, sorry to use this word, the mad city, like, everyone has a bit of, I was going to say craze, I'm sorry. So, there was just, so many, like, as it feels like a writer's heaven, because like there's so much, there's so much inspiration to draw from, just being there. There's so much art around you. I mean, it's not like it's not here, but back home, like the culture, and the tradition. I remember before I came, I would go to see the festivals, Ayo festival, like that. You can definitely find that here. So just things like that. But besides that, I am really glad to be here. Like we have 24 hours power supply, electricity here. That that never happened back in Lagos. In Lagos, we went like 6 months without electricity at one point.
Oh, wow.
And that is really hard, for a creative. So, or even anyone actually. So I am very grateful to be here. I'll get the street food one way or the other. And I'll, go on YouTube to watch a festival. I'll be fine.
No, that's awesome. Did you have anything, Yana? You want to? Okay. No, that's. I mean, clearly you have made it. You have made it for sure. Which that's huge. But let's talk about your book. I feel like I'm about to jack up the title again, even though we've already gone through this. But Surulere Lagos, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Surulere Lagos, which you wrote, edited, and published all yourself independently.
Correct.
Girl. That's impressive.
Teach me your way.
I was waiting for Yana to come in.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I admire you guys. You have a podcast, and a platform for, girls or women like me, ladies, I'm a lady, to be able to talk about our work. So, I mean, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Can you share just a little bit about what inspired you to write this book, and some of the themes within your book that you wrote about?
Okay. Thank you. So I've always wanted to write about Lagos. I just did, at first I thought I was going to write a novel because, I mean, there's so much to tell. But, I don't have the patience. So it just made sense to, write a chapbook. And with everything that happened last year, it felt like the right time to actually put the work out there. Poetry was everywhere in Lagos growing up, the blackouts, like I mentioned earlier, like the street parties, the yellow downfall buses, the festivals. It was just so much that I experienced. And I felt like most people, when they hear about Nigeria, Lagos, they think about our music or our food. And like, I felt like there was just so much more to that about Lagos, and I wanted people to be able to experience that through my words. So, it just made sense for me to put my experience on paper and, publish it myself, that way, I have creative control over how I want it to, look like, what kind of message I want to pass through, to my audience and readers. So it was very important for me that I write it and publish it. And I mean, I'm grateful. I've had, really good response, even from people who are Nigerians but live here. And they write to me that, this brings back so many memories of growing up in Lagos, or I'm sharing this with my kids because, I've always told them about, this is things that used to happen in Lagos, but, I just used to tell them, but then now I can actually show them that, someone experienced it too as well. So that brings me so much joy because this is why I wrote it. I want to share that story, that the unseen reality in Lagos. Yeah, I'm really glad I did. I mean, there's so much I can go on and on about, my inspiration behind it. But like the themes, because it's actually very political, and growing up it was kind of almost taboo to talk about politics outside. You can talk about it in the house. Everyone goes crazy. Oh, we don't like this. We don't like. But once you go out that outside, you step outside the house, they tell you, zip your lips, do not complain about anything. Just go about your business. As long as you have food in your mouth, or food on the table, just go about your business. Ignore, everything happening around you. But it started becoming really hard to just ignore that. I felt like someone had to. I mean, other people are, but I felt like it was part of my responsibility to, as an artist, to reveal the times we're living in now, especially in Nigeria. So when I wrote it, I made sure to send it to my grandfather to get his approval first, because he was the one who was always like, no, no politics outside. And once he approved it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll have a voice now. I can use it. And, this is the best way for me to tell my story and tell the story of what's happening. So some of the themes in the book are the blatant corruption, inflation, joblessness, poverty, the hunger crisis, high insecurity, severe underdevelopment, poor infrastructure, bad governance, social injustice, which kind of happens everywhere, the dreadful health and education system, and then the deep immorality among some who style themselves as custodians of religion and politics. Almost every poem in the book has a bit of, these themes in them. And, I'm glad I wrote it last year. When I did, I'm glad I published it too.
No, I love that. And yeah, you really got into you wrote from a deep place. Like this is not like these are personal experiences and deep, some heavy topics. How is that experience for you writing through the difficulty in some of those moments from such a transparent and vulnerable place?
I mean, writing it was easy. I'm just going to put that out there because, like you said, it was very personal. So everything was, once I said, okay, once I made a decision that I wanted to tell, my story or this story, or I want to reveal all of these things happening in Nigeria, it kind of all just, came to me. I put it out the way it came to me. And I think it was just publishing it, making sure that I was sending out the right message, So I really took my time in editing it. And like I mentioned earlier, I sent it to my grandfather. I mean, where I come from, we hold our elders to very, very high standard. And once you get an approval from them for something, you know you're on the right path. So writing it was good, but I had to make sure that, editing it and before I put it out, I had to make sure that I was passing on the right message. And, people read it and actually understand what is happening. And they can actually do further research on, things, on the themes that I illustrated in my book. So yeah, I think because it was personal to me and it came from a place of like deep reflection, it made the writing actually easy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's talk a little more about, you did a live reading back in January on Instagram, and we were able to tune in and get some of that. And I just want to say we enjoyed that so much. We didn't know what to expect when we logged in, and I was like, me and Yana were like texting back and forth. I was like, she's got the drum,
I was like the
ambiance, like everything. You know what I mean? Like you really set the scene and set the tone for your book. And then you started reading, and I was like, oh my goodness, like she is literally telling a story. But it was like almost like giving you snapshots of your life, and what you said previously to when Yana was asking just about how difficult, or just, you kind of having to go back to those places. And I just kept thinking like, man, it made me want to research more about the times and the climate and the things that were happening like when you were growing up back in Lagos. So I just want to say from Yana and I, like we thoroughly enjoyed your live reading.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you look beautiful. And this is around the time like we knew we were gonna get a chance to interview you, and I was like, we were like, oh my gosh, like she is amazing. I'm sorry, I just talked to death, called myself asking you a question, and I didn't talk about your question. I am so sorry. But what was that experience like for you to really put yourself out there on display?
Thank you so much for all the kind words. I'm grateful for this. Thank you. I felt like it was something I had to do to sell my book. Okay. I love performance. I love performing arts. And, most of the poems in the chapbook, they're actually longer versions of them, which I hope someday, can be performed on the stage, by an actress or something. But I love performance. I love performing theater, performance theater. I study theater arts, so it just made sense to tie in the drums and the reading, the ambience, like you mentioned, like to just at least just put those elements together to really tell a good story. So at least we can have an idea by just even if it's just visual or listening. Either way, I want to try to tell a good story to get the audience, readers, interested in learning more about this, loud and proud city and our culture, and just, the inspiration behind my work. So it just, it only made sense for me to, I hope to keep doing more readings like that, where I can have that, like the authentic African sounds while I, read, or anybody else reads my work, because that's kind of like the because I do have a playlist for my poems. I get very inspired by music, African music, Nigerian music. So I just have to put all those elements together to tell my story.
I love that. One thing I will say too that I didn't mention earlier also is that besides just the ambiance and everything, and the drums and everything that you said, that your words really did paint pictures, visual. I was able to literally see, or at least from what my imagination, you know what I mean, my limited experience, to visualize each piece that you read. So you put the words together so beautifully to where I could visually see what was happening on those pages.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Powerful. I was like, oh, I love to see. I want to see more of these. Can she do a series?
Right.
Same.
Series. Let me stop.
I'm going to steal that Surulere series. Okay, thank you for the idea.
Of course. Yes. Take that, run with it. But no. So a lot of your poetry falls into more like the contemporary African poetry space. What can we learn more about in that genre? And do you have a few like favorites, like other artists fall in that genre?
But yeah, Niyi Osundare. I mean, I know it's not a very popular name, but it's one of my favorite poets. I get inspired just reading his work because he really portrays, like the African communities or, yeah, he writes mostly about Yoruba communities, but the African communities, the way I know it, I mean, I enjoy reading about the civil war that was fought, but I really enjoy reading about my community, or seeing myself in a work. So I'm very inspired by his work. His name is Niyi Osundare. I hope more people get to read his work. Wale Soyinka is a huge influence. Huge. Wow. He writes novels, poetry, plays. I mean, he's just. I think he is. Was the first African Nobel laureate. Is just amazing, and just like Niyi Osundare, his work also reflects like the communities I grew up in that I can identify with, and that's kind of what I always want to portray in my work. I want people to open it and say, "Oh wow, I was here," or "I know this place," or "Oh, okay, now when I go to visit Lagos, I would actually like to see Lekki, that this person wrote about." I've heard people, tell me after they've got my book that, when they do get a chance to visit Lagos, like they want to visit some parts just because of what's in the book, or just to learn more about, Lagos in general. So I love that. And that's what I love about African contemporary poetry, that I can actually show you the way, like the Africa that we know as writers.
Thank you. I love that. We'll have to get those names again from you because we're going to add those to our show notes, and also for my personal reference because I need some more good reading material. So thank you. That was actually like a personal question. So thank you for answering.
No worries. Thank you for asking.
I'm going to ask the next question here in a second, but I just want to say too, and I don't know if Yana will share the same sentiments as I do, but I feel like she might, but she may not. There's something about having a conversation or hearing the stories of people who are from Africa, like born and raised. You know what I mean? Being part of the diaspora, like we have a disconnect, but there's also this longing to want to know so much more about cultures. Like I did a DNA ancestry. I'm 39% Nigerian. Like, yes. Yes. Okay. And Yana and I are first cousins.
And Terry and I are first cousins, so I don't know if you know that. So we're actually.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I had no idea. Yes. Nice. All right. Sisters.
Yes. Yes. So just even like sitting and having this conversation and reading, your work and all these things, like it just, for I'm gonna say for us, is it okay if I speak for us? That it just brings us so much more closer. Yana and I have visited the continent of Africa before. We did not get a chance to go to Nigeria, but still, there's just something super special about going back to the motherland, and just having that connection. So that's all I want to say about that. I will ask my next question now. Okay, so in addition, obviously, to you being an author and a writer, we know that you are a model, but you do some acting, some illustrating, and let me tell you, this dancing situation.
I was just about to say, can we talk about it? Yes.
Oh my goodness. You do all the things.
The Beyonce, the one you dance,
from the gift, watch out for them hyenas.
I'm over here about to what, girl?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You gave us so much life.
Yeah. Girl, Taiwo, I threw my shoe. I said, she bigger, swaying them hips.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yes. So my question is, what would you say is your favorite out of all the things that we've listed about you? What is your favorite thing?
Oh, wow.
To do?
Oh, thank you so much for all the compliments. Thank you. I know I'm blushing.
Sis, we just telling the truth. That's it.
Thank
Like
you.
we see it.
I don't have a favorite. I mean, if you asked me this question like maybe 4 years ago, I would have said dancing. But now I just enjoy doing, expressing myself creatively. And I'm really grateful that I have this talent that I can, show the world. I mean, every creative will tell you, we just want to showcase our talent. We just want opportunities to showcase our talent. It brings us so much joy that, it's hard to actually put into words that, this is how I feel. So, whenever the spirit hits, I want to dance, I want to write something, I want to act, I want to direct, something, or I have a creative idea, I want to collaborate with, a videographer, I want to, it's just, it would be easy to just do one thing, but I can't help myself. I enjoy expressing myself creatively in all these ways, and I'm grateful that I can do it. I started out as a dancer. I'm still shy, but I was a very, very shy kid, and I found dance, and I just couldn't stop dancing. And and then from there, I used to illustrate too, to pass the time. And I had the opportunity to, illustrate for like the Lagos Fashion Week. I think it was in 2015. So, and it brings me so much joy that I can do all of this. But again, like I mentioned earlier, I started with dancing, and then when I got to study theatre and music, you get to actually do, they let you direct a play. You also can work in costume, makeup, technical theatre, light, sound. So you get to do all of this really interesting aspects of the theatre and production and performance. So it kind of just helped me build all my talents and made me feel like I can do everything. And I just kind of, if I'm on a production set, I can, do more than one thing, which is great. It kind of just grew from there. And I'm really grateful that I can do as much as I can.
No, thank you. I was just sitting here listening, and it clicked to me that you're like Taryn and I combined, like a whole just ball of everything. Because Taryn started off as a dancer too. She can tell about her own dance background. I didn't get the dancing gene in my family, but I did. I'm the writer, so I can write. I can write it down.
Yes,
I can't break it down and dance though. That's Taryn. So
nice. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, and sorry, I should had this too. My mom is a fashion designer. She illustrates. I know she's an illustrator. Like she's like 6 feet tall. So I feel like I got some of that from her. And then my dad, worked, in the film industry, worked as an actor. Light in person, sound. Performed. So I think I kind of just like.
It was clearly meant to be for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't help it.
Does Taiwo mean anything? Does it have like a meaning? I feel like it means something.
Yeah,
and it is all your personality. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I am a twin, and I am a twin. Yes. So Taiwo is the first to come out, and it's a Yoruba name. It means first to taste the world. My twin sister, Kende, second to come to the world. So, I mean, it's believed in like Yoruba mythology that the Kende is actually the eldest, because she sent me into the world to check out the world. And when I came out, they didn't let me back in to report to her. And then she came out to check on me, and then they took her too. So that's how we ended up here.
I love that.
That is so cool.
Yes.
I know. Yeah, so I mean, you'll meet a lot of Taiwo and Kenny. If you're twins and you're from, the Southwest or you're back in, you're definitely a Taiwo.
That's so cool. I didn't even know that. I just felt like I just want to know about her name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That blew me away. Oh my! And you're a twin. That's even an even deeper dynamic that you're separated from your twin. Like, are y'all like identical twins?
No, we're not.
Okay.
But still.
Still though. Wow.
Yeah.
I was telling Yana the other day, I was like, man, I want to do a collaboration, like a dance collaboration with Taiwo. But then I was like, I'm literally the same length as your legs. I'm super duper. This would look
It
really.
doesn't matter.
I would like to see it. I would like to see
we'll
it.
have fun.
Maybe we can talk about it. I birthed a couple of children. I got a little weight on me, but we can talk about it.
Well, Beyonce said you birth the children, you get back to business. So
He did say that. He did.
That's from the book of Beyonce.
That's a new one. Book of Beyonce.
Yes.
Yes, please, let's do it. I'm down. Let's make it happen.
Yes. Are you plugged? Do you do anything like with like the fashion weeks, like in New York or anything?
Well, I've actually been working with Harlem Fashion Week since I came here. They really embraced me. It's more like a family to me. I mean, obviously because of COVID, last year we didn't have a season in September like we normally would. But hopefully we can do something, this year. But yeah, I mean that's like my own Fashion Week family. But yeah, I'm in New York. I'm a model. You go for as many castings as you can. You send new pictures for as many castings as you can. You just, just keep doing what you can do. As long as you show up, even if it's virtually, just take the opportunity of being here.
Yes. Well, if the world reopens, and even if it's digitally, we would love to like support and like we want to be on the scene. Like we
Thank
know
you.
her. No, but
okay, I'll keep you all updated. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh wow, this conversation it's made me so full. It exceeded my expectations. Not saying that I had anything like less than. It was just like the vibe and the stories that you have and that you tell. It's just been a lot.
Thank you.
So full.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much for having me and making me feel really comfortable to be able to share my story.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Before we let you go, though, we have a few questions that we before we wrap. I just want to ask, because I always ask our guests, is there a word powering you in 2021? If so, what would that word be? What would you say would be that one word that's guiding you this year?
Very, very, very interesting. It's actually the same word that powered me last year. Consistency, just being consistent in everything I do, everything, putting the same energy into everything I do and being consistent, showing up and just putting in the work. So that was my motto for last year, same as this year. Just grateful that I have a word, to guide me. So thank you so much for asking that question. I hope, other people can actually have something like that to guide them.
Yes. And consistency is a good one because that's only be consistent at the good things, y'all. Don't be consistent in doing bad stuff.
True.
No.
So do you have any new projects coming out this year? Can we expect some extensions of your book? What's up? What's new for you in 2021?
Well, Kofo, we don't really like to talk about plans, but I was actually thinking about the same thing yesterday. Like we have an adage, they say, sorry, I'm going to speak my language. Tissue in tissue any badgino, wa forward bo Jenny. If your yam is done, you cover it while you're eating it. It means when you have arrived, when you're succeeding at something, you should probably not brag about it. It has its pros and cons because we live in an age now where you have to actually publicize yourself. People have to know what you're doing, for them to support you. So, it's like a push and pull for me. Like, okay, how do I talk about things that doesn't make it sound like I'm bragging? And I'm just really excited about my work and I just want to share it. But this year I hope to do more things in the theater. I mean, I know now Broadway's dark because of COVID, but there's so many virtual shows and just remote shows that are going on. So I hope to get my feet wet in that. So yeah, I mean, please stay tuned. I will definitely be sharing more as plans become more concrete. But yeah, I would love to actually publish an extension from my book. But I want to push this one, Surulere Lagos, as far as I can. Then yeah, see where I go from there. But please stay tuned. Yeah, I have a lot of exciting things coming up.
Yes. We probably gonna need to tap you to teach us some Yoruba.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm down. I'll do my best to teach.
Help us.
Please help us, please. No. Okay, so how can, after everybody listen to this, they're gonna be like, oh, how can we follow her and stay connected? And how can we get her book? And just, yes, y'all, I'm about to ask her for you so that when she tells you these links and how to get there, I need y'all to flood her website, everything. I need you to follow her, not stalk her, but you can follow her in her journey. All right.
Yeah.
So, Taiwo, how can our listeners connect with you?
Okay. I'll first, state my name. My name is Taiwo Aloba. I have an Instagram page. That's the only social account I have. It's called, or my Instagram handle is at Model Voss. So model, MODELVOS at Model Voss. That's my personal Instagram account, modeling account, if you mind. And then I have an Instagram account for my book. It's Surulere Lagos Chapbook. That's SURULERELagosChapbook. I hope I said that right. Yeah, so Surulere Lagos Chapbook. It's on Instagram. Please follow my Instagram page just so you can get more information about my book. And if you want to purchase the book, it's currently available on Amazon. Just type in Surulere Lagos by Taiwo Aloba. I will call up the link, but it's best. I know if you just type in Surulere Lagos by Taiwo Aloba, you find it on Amazon. So, and if you do need more information, feel free to follow me on Instagram and ask any question. Again, my personal Instagram handle is at Model Voss, MODELVOS. And the Instagram handle for my book is Surulere Lagos Chapbook. I'm not going to spell that again. Thank you all so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you. And we'll have all of that linked in our show notes, you guys. So just visit the show notes as well. Click and go straight to all the links and support Taiwo. Come on.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to just breathe in the joy.
My heart is full. My heart is full. It's so
full. Here.
Beautiful way. Yes.
Thank you.
This has been incredible. Such an incredible conversation. It was one thing to kind of, I don't want to say cyber stalk you, but really checking out your work and following your moves a little bit. But it's another thing to have a conversation with you. And it is just as wonderful as the work and the art and the things that you're doing. So
yes, her portfolio, she is very modest. And I love her for it, and I know you don't want to brag on yourself, but we gonna brag on you because you are gorgeous.
Thank you.
I was looking at you your portfolio,
thank you.
Everything. I just want to just put you all over the place. Just, can we see more Taiwo, please?
Yes.
Are you not a household name?
Right. Brands, labels, everything. I need you to be the face.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can we link your YouTube video on our page?
I'm fine.
Yes, because y'all need to catch that video. Yeah, the day. Yes, her portfolio. I'm sorry, Taiwo. It's hard not to brag on you because I'm a brag.
Really
you're
my goodness. Hold on to your wig.
Thank you.
That one. Because
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are that chick for real
Yes.
in
Thank you.
all the ways.
Thank
And
you
so
very much.
sweet and humble and
Yes.
Thank you.
We can't wait to meet you in person. It's
Yes.
happening.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope you don't get
Thank
off and be
you.
like, I don't ever want to talk to you
Right.
girls.
Oh, what? No way. No. I mean, you both are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you do. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're so welcome. Well, guys, man, we hope y'all leave this episode full, just as full as we are. Oh, this has been a really good conversation. And it's just been so good, so great meeting you formally. We've been following you and your work, but to actually know the person behind just, the face, on a personal level, has been a great experience. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, y'all, we're going to let y'all just
melanate on that.
Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our chat today. Keep the conversation going by heading to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leaving us a review.
have a story of your own to share? Email us at info@melanatedconversations.com or connect with us on social media at Melanated Conversations. Till next time, keep raising your voice.